Hello and welcome to College News. Today we are going to be addressing climate change. Climate change is the name given to long-term effects of weather and temperature around the globe. These have been natural effects up until the 1800s, but since then it has been human activity driven. It is primarily caused by the burning of fossil fuels such as oils, coals and gases. This produces heat-trapping gases. It can lead to drought, which can harm food production and human health. This decreases the average human life expectancy and limits worker productions. We are also subject to land loss as the ice caps are melting due to carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. We decided as a team to ask students and teachers of Preston College and members of the public some questions based on climate change. Let's hear what they had to say. Who am I here with today?
My name's Georgia.
Oh, lovely to meet you, Georgia. I have a few questions for you about climate change.
Yeah, no worries.
And what do you know about climate change?
So obviously I know it's to do with the Earth getting warmer and in like the Antarctic, obviously like the ice is melting, so like the polar bears are dying.
And how would you say climate change has affected you?
I would say it affect me in the more upcoming years as I'm getting older, as I've got kids, like the Earth will be hotter, you never know, in winter it might be really hot.
Fair enough. And what do you think we can do differently to make a change?
I feel like recycling is a very big issue. I feel like more people should be recycling.
Do you recycle?
I do indeed.
Very well. And that is all the questions we have for you today, Georgia. Thank you very much for joining me. So today we are here interviewing
Dave Elliott.
Lovely to meet you, Dave. And what do you know about climate change?
I know that obviously climate change is really big at the moment within the news. It's something that basically is going to, in the long term, affect us all. The biggest thing for me is things like sea levels rising, and I think if we don't do something soon, then maybe not for me, but for people your age and for my children, it could dramatically change everybody's lives in the long term.
Definitely. So how would you say, as well as, I know you've just mentioned your kids and everything, but other than that, are there any other ways that climate change has affected you?
I don't think any ways climate change has affected me specifically. I think it's more about the long term, isn't it? And in the future, obviously if we don't all change our cars to electric cars, then there's going to be a massive impact on sort of society and the world really. So there's a lot, I think, that needs to be done by the government and pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, and what do you think we can do differently, like not just the government, like we as a public?
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing is obviously cars, changing them to electric. Obviously, stopping petrol and diesel. There's so many more sort of cars on the road than there was probably 5-6 years ago. I think that's going to have a massive impact in the long term if we don't do that. I think if you were to ask me, the main thing we need to change is that, and renewable energy as well.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's all the questions we have for you today,
That's lovely.
so thank you very
You're
much.
all right.
Hi, today we are in town and I am with
Victoria.
Hi Victoria.
Hi.
I've just got a few questions about climate change. And what do you know about climate change?
Not a lot. I need to be way more educated than I am, but
Yeah.
you see things like Greta Thunberg and all the amazing protests and the way she's influencing the younger generation to be more passionate and caring about climate change. That's really great to see. We need more awareness about it so we can be more educated.
Definitely. And how would you say this has affected you?
I don't know personally, but obviously we can see that slowly things are having an effect, like the cars and the pollution and everything, and all the animals in the ocean with the trash. It's these small things that are going to make a huge difference in how we live in the future. We need to change and be better for the future generation.
Definitely. And what do you think we can do differently to make that change?
Oh, I was going to say litter, but I think there's things that littering doesn't help. I'm not too sure. I don't know. We need more education on that. We need to find ways to, I don't know. I'm not clever. We need to learn. We need to be educated on what to do, because there's protests saying that we need to change climate change, but I don't think I really know how to change it. We need to know what it is that we need to do as society to change and make it better.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for your time. It was lovely meeting you.
And you.
Thank you. Hi, today I am here with
Spencer Black.
and I'm just going to ask you a few questions about climate change. So what do you already know about climate change?
I know that the climate is affected and Arctic and everything, the snow, the ice melting and everything, and the rate of rains and earthquake and many disasters happening around the world. And I think it's all climate change. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And how would you say this has affected you?
In person, because like in some places, drought and everything, this affect the cost of living. Like when you go to shop to buy stuff, everything is up and everything. So it affect me in one way or the other. Like the air we breathe and everybody, and maybe very soon we're not going to be lasting for long like our forefathers did. You see. So I just think we should tackle it on time so that our children don't have to suffer the same consequences that we suffered.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what do you think we can do differently as a public?
As a public, we should try and do more recycling, and we should try and make peace instead of war, and everything. We should just try and be natural instead of trying to be profit driven. Using chemicals to grow our food and all that. Instead of that, we should try to be more natural and love the earth.
Yeah.
That's what I think we should.
Oh,
do.
definitely. Well, thank you so much for your time.
One love. Thank you.
Hi, and we are outside the Harris Museum. I am here with...
Mohammed.
Lovely to meet you, Mohammed.
And yourself?
I'm going to ask you a few questions about climate change.
Sure.
And what do you already know about climate change?
That is changing.
That is
Obviously,
changing.
the weather cycle is changing. We're getting warmer summers, colder winters, polar ice melting. Yes, so doesn't look good.
Doesn't look good, does it? And how has this affected you personally?
Personally, it hasn't yet, but I'm sure it will in the near future.
Yeah. And what do you think we can do differently as a public to make this change happen?
Well, good question. Reduce your carbon footprint. Start being more concerned about what you use, temperature and whatever else. Your lifestyle is gonna have to change.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you very, very much for your time.
You're
That's all the
welcome.
questions I've got. Have a
Okay.
lovely day.
And yourself.
And there we have it. But the question is, what are you going to do to change your daily life to help prevent climate change?